What is up, guys and gals? Welcome to episode 91 of the Nonsense Review. I'm your host, as always, Devon, and joining me, equally as always, is Rick.
Hello, everybody.
Those of you who follow the podcast know we usually like to discuss our weeks and the goings-on in the wide world before getting to the meat of our review, which, by the way, we're still on My Little Pony.
Yeah, we've got a whole month of it.
Yeah, but for now, let's see what's been going on in the world. Rick, how's your week been, buddy?
Well, the one thing that we really should have mentioned last time, but we only found out after we stopped recording, is that one Kevin Conroy, the inimitable voice of Batman, has passed away. And I think we talked about him before a little bit, that when we were doing Pride Week one time, it was because he'd just done a Finding Batman speech that he had discrimination against him normally, but like being able to don the cowl in a performance sense, it let him take on a different persona, and that's what actually helped him to come out. But yeah, I think you've got other things to say about this, so I'll throw it to you as well.
I don't really have much to say other than it was a bit of a kick in the teeth because, you know, Kevin Conroy was my Batman, much like Mark Hamill is my Joker.
Yeah, he was 66, which is no age for a healthy guy to go.
I mean, he wasn't healthy. He had a very short battle with cancer.
Yeah, he didn't publicly disclose it, and he'll be sorely missed by all, including a lot of his colleagues who paid tribute. Yeah, he was your Batman, he was my Batman, he was everyone's Batman. Other things that happened in the world. Inside Job 2 is coming out. I know you weren't quite as enthused about it as I was, but I thought it was fun, so I'm going to be watching that.
Yeah, you've watched all of season 1, haven't you?
Yeah, I watched all of season 1. It was pretty good. It had the standard Netflix-itis ending of, here is a cliffhanger. If it gets cancelled, then you get blueballed. And the last thing I had to bring up from the outside world is that Pirates of the Caribbean 6, which was slated for 2024, has now been cancelled by Disney. This was the one that was headed by Margot Robbie, and it was going to be the first Pirates not to have Johnny Depp and to be, headed by a female cast. There's a possibility that this is linked to James Gunn becoming the co-chairman of the DC Expanded Universe and is pushing for Margot Robbie to be Harley Quinn and pretty much the poster character for the DCEU right now.
I hadn't heard any of this, but first of all, if you've got a creative guy, James Gunn's a pretty decent person to put at the head.
Yeah.
Or near the head, because he does have like for fuck's sake, he made the Guardians of the Galaxy a thing, which by all rights shouldn't work as a movie.
Yeah, he made the Guardians of the Galaxy into one of the best Marvel movies that no one expected to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I wouldn't pick Harley Quinn as the face of my DC universe. However, there is no denying the fact that she has been the face of the live-action movies for quite some time now.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where she's not going to be so much the face as much as the glue tying things together. If you see Harley Quinn there, then you've got at least some kind of you've got some glue sticking it together. You've got some common thread. Even if she's just a plucky underdog going, holy shit, that's Superman, I'm out, then at least you've got that going for you.
I think that works in terms of Harley Quinn's little cartoon show, which is funny as fuck. But if you put a drop of that in every single DC thing that comes out, I will be like, cool, I don't like DC.
But yeah, that's it for the outside world and what I've seen. On a personal note, I have now been to see Wakanda Forever.
Well, let's talk about that, because that's on the top of my list of things I've done.
Yeah.
We're not going to spoil it, but we might spoil a little bit.
Yeah, so minor spoilers incoming for Wakanda Forever. Not intentional, but some things are really obvious. It was stated before it was released that this was going to be dealing with the death of T'Challa mirroring the actual real-life death of Chadwick Boseman. And I think they generally handled it pretty well. They didn't dwell... Okay, they did dwell on it, but they didn't keep bringing it up. They brought it up at the beginning, they brought it up at the end, and the other things were just a background for why the characters are being a bit more somber this time round.
Well, I've got to be absolutely real with you. I didn't know that was a thing going in, and I thought it was incredibly tasteless to have Black Panther be killed off the same way Chadwick Boseman, the real-life person, got killed. Or died, I should say.
Yeah.
But that's just my take. It might be a bad take. I don't know. That sort of thing's always rubbed me the wrong way, so,
Mm-hmm. I kind of feel it. I didn't think it was that tasteless within the confines of the film, but in the greater scope of, yes, he also was battling cancer and didn't tell anyone until it was too late, is...
Well, you got to bear in mind, he had a terminal diagnosis. He didn't tell anyone before it was too late, like, in the sense that he didn't tell doctors or anything. He didn't tell his fellow cast members and the world as a whole, because he didn't want to... well, I've got a bit of a personal take on this, because my dad was sort of the same way in that he didn't want people talking about it all the time.
Right.
Whereas where it's like if you bring up something like cancer, everyone looks at you with a slightly different sort of lens. Like me, I like to think that me and my family didn't treat my dad any different after he got diagnosed, but he also lived with cancer for fucking 10 plus years, so...
Yeah, I guess the first thing people tell you is, "Oh, you're alright," every time they meet you, and I guess it would wear thin. But yeah, the twists were not as twisty as I thought. I didn't think the film really went anywhere.
Oh, I thought the film was absolute crap, and here's a fun thing, right? The guy sitting next to my friend fell asleep.
Oh, okay.
Like, halfway through the film, I could hear some really heavy breathing, and I was like, that's fucking weird, who the fuck's doing that? And then I just ignored it, and then my friend said, yeah, the bloke next to me fell asleep. And I'm like, fair enough. It wasn't a very good film. The most interesting part of this film was obviously going to be Namor. I kind of suspected that going in.
Yeah.
They did some weird things with his origin, or not necessarily his origin, but with not Atlantis.
Yeah, that was a bit odd.
It kind of makes sense considering the direction they chose to go. Don't get me wrong, I'm not slagging it off. Also, the most interesting part is they straight up said, yep, he's a mutant.
Yeah. It's the second time we heard the mutant word in the MCU now, or in the Marvel overall universe, because the shows are canon as well.
Yeah, it's weird that, isn't it? It's still cinematic universe, despite the fact half of it's on the fucking TV now.
Yeah, and that's what makes the phases go quick, because none of it's movies anymore. There's too much Marvel these days.
I'm pretty sure I told you last week before I saw the film, I'm burnt the fuck out on superhero films. You don't have to go and watch every single one. I didn't even want to watch this one, I just hadn't hung out with my buddies for a while.
Fair enough. And yeah, it's been brought up a few times that certain films could have been better served as long-form shows, which you can drop after a couple of episodes if they're shit. So something like Eternals would have probably made a better show than a movie.
Eternals was too goddamn long.
Yeah, like, it could have very easily been 6 or 7 30-minute episodes with better cutting.
I said when it came out they should have split Eternals into 2 movies, one handling the past shit, one handling the present shit. However, no one would go and see those 2 movies because they're like, well, why is it 2 movies?
Yeah. Especially since only one of them actually had a point. Like, the past stuff just exists. It's just basically a history lesson in movie form. Yeah, nobody would watch it. Like, maybe they would if they released it for free on Disney Plus.
No.
Yeah, like, release it at the same time. This is the homework special. Go watch this in the week leading up to the actual movie with the action.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. We also had someone that we took to that movie who was flagging after 2.5 hours, and yeah, he was not doing well.
Yeah, this movie didn't need to be this long.
No.
There was a lot of padding.
Yeah, it was a lot of padding, a lot of talking, a lot of poignant times.
I do want to bring up 2 final things before we move on. Number 1, Okayu in a suit.
Yes.
Did very funny things to me.
She doesn't even wear anything different underneath it. It just looks like she is. She's wearing her Dora Milaje normal costume underneath the suit jacket, but it looks really good.
And the other thing I want to point out is I'm pretty sure everyone working on Disney superhero movies, the big ones, are just doing their utmost to throw in the smallest, tiniest thing to make sure the film cannot be shown in another country.
Oh?
Well, remember in this film that there's a very last-minute detail where it's literally right at the end where there's 2 guards whose names I forget. One of them's the Dagger Girl, and the other one says, "Thank you, my love." And it's like, cool. That's just there to piss off the Chinese, and I'm all for that.
Yeah.
It's also very easy to cut out.
Yeah, very easy to cut out. Yeah. Man, yeah. I remember that at the end.
It was just there to piss people off, and I love it.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing is, it's nice seeing a historical villain that wasn't just Britain for once. We were not good people in our conquest and colonization days.
Owned a third of the globe.
Yep. And this time, it's not the British Empire that does the bad shit.
Which empire did do the bad shit in this film?
Oh, it's conquistadors. So the Spanish.
Oh, right, yeah, cool. I completely glossed over that part. This film's long.
Yeah, it's a long film, and they only mentioned that one thing once.
Yeah, because they needed to give a reason for Namor to be called Namor.
Yeah, and also to, hate the surface.
Which, I've got to be honest with you, I don't think is the reason why he's called that in the comics, but I also kind of don't care.
Nah. He's a shit hero. He's the shittiest hero. He's, like, every time I've ever seen him, which is very little, he's not only the worst hero, but he's the worst person who is called a hero.
Well, he's usually not even a hero. 9 times out of 10, he's Aquaman, but pre-face turn.
Yeah.
He's literally like, hey, stop. Like, okay, I don't know in-depth details of Namor's comic verse lore, but I'm pretty sure, first of all, he's from Atlantis. He's not from wherever the fuck the made-up place is. But who gives a fuck about that? They sure as shit shit don't have vibranium.
That was something that was thrown into this film and this film only, basically to drive its own plot. So it was entirely self-referential, and he was shoehorned in just because of this.
And again, it's fine. It's the MCU. No one really gives a fuck about comic integrity.
Yeah.
Or at least if you still give a fuck about that now, you should have tapped out.
I think that's more or less about all I had to say about this, and pretty much anything else I've done during the week, because everything else has been boring. I've been playing Marvel Snap, and that's about it. So, I throw the questions over to you. How have your week been, and what have you been doing?
How have your week been?
How have your week been?
Yeah, more God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about it because I'm well into spoiler territory, but it's gotten good. It's managed to keep the momentum more or less. There's been a few dips, but it comes right back up.
Yeah, like you said, you got through all the trailer stuff in the first hour or so.
Yeah, first 2 hours, all the trailer stuff's pretty much been done, apart from the saving of the character, but hey, guess what, that happens slightly after. The other thing I want to talk about is, we're recording a day early, so we can't actually talk about it, but Pokemon Scarlet and Violet will be out tomorrow, but it will be out properly by the time the podcast is out.
Yes, totally. I am looking forward to being able to ride my cyberbike.
I'm looking forward to just playing Pokemon again.
Yeah. What starter were you picking? Were you sticking with the coconut?
I don't know what coconut is, but I'm going to have the fire crocodile.
Yeah, Fuecoco.
I don't fucking know. But yes, on to the wide world. Rick, the world has officially reached a population of 8 billion people.
These billions keep coming a lot quicker than they used to. I remember a fact card from when I was growing up that said the Earth was 5 billion people. And then pretty quickly it got supplanted by the fact that it was actually 6 billion. And while I was at school, it was 6 billion for a long ass time, and then 7 billion after I left school. Yeah, these billions keep coming a lot faster than anyone could have, predicted 25 years ago.
It's one of those things where, looking at the website that's sort of trying to keep track, there's about a 100,000 increase every day. It's very odd to look at, because there's like 250,000 births against 120,000 deaths, and it's like, fuck, it's going up very quickly. In the Digimon trading card world, boy, was there a big fuck up.
Was there?
The most recent release, Digimon, I've got the box in my hand, EX03 Draconic Roar, it got delayed because they had to errata 24 cards.
That's a lot of errata.
Yeah, because there's only 74 in the set.
Oh boy, errataing the third of your set. So what did they fuck up? Did they fuck up like an entire mechanic, or...?
I didn't dive into the details. I just looked at those numbers, looked at the official website that said, these 24 cards, this is what we actually meant by the text, and it's like, fuck, someone's getting fired.
Yeah, with Magic the Gathering, I think 5 is a high number for errata in a set before it's launched. Yeah, this is unprecedented in a play-tested world.
Well, I was speaking to Izara, and I said straight up, if this happened on Pokemon TCG, Yu-Gi-Oh, or Magic the Gathering, there would be a massive outcry from the fucking, the player base going, what the fuck? Except it's Digimon TCG, which means there's not that big of a player base, and everyone's just like, well, that's kind of a bummer, but moves on with their lives.
Yeah. I don't even know the rules for Digimon TCG. As far as I'm concerned, isn't it basically just Digimon trading cards that happen to have a game attached to it, rather than the other ones which are mostly a card game that have roots in the trading card genre of the 90s?
I mean, these existed in the 90s.
Did they? Okay.
I think they went away and they came back not too long ago, but, the trading card game has been a while, at least since the PS1 era, because they had the Digimon trading card game you could play on the PlayStation 1.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, the game's not difficult, but it's one of those where it's easy to learn, hard to master, but it's also one of those where every set kind of just fucks everything up meta-wise.
Man, you did jog my memory a little bit. The Warhammer Commander decks are now out, and all of them are expensive apart from the Tyranids, so I might pick up the Tyranids deck just to have as a game day thing to have in the house.
I mean, I'd love to buy one of the Commander decks. At one point, I was like, wow, these Commander decks are just cool little fluffy things to have. I'd like to buy them all. 50 plus quid per deck, fuck off.
Yeah, the Tyranid one's down to 30.
Jeez. It must be the least effective one.
Yeah, all the other ones have black in it, and black is the kill everything colour.
Yeah.
In Magic, this is. Not...
You didn't need to specify. We were talking about Magic the Gathering. It's fine.
Yeah.
The swamp black element's big deal is always, hey, tap this thing dies on other side of field. There. That's the simplest way of explaining it.
Yeah. They can do almost anything all the other colours can do, but if they're doing something outside of their kill things wheelhouse, then you got to pay a price, like some life, or sacrifice one of your own dudes or something like that.
Yeah, for example, that's why vampires belong to the swamps.
Yeah, because they sacrifice their own dudes and they drain your dudes of their life.
Yeah. But yes, enough about card games. World of Sport might be getting another relaunch.
Okay.
Do you know what World of Sport is?
Refresh my memory.
It's the British Wrestling Federation that originally existed in like the 70s, 80s and 90s.
All right.
They had a brief relaunch about 3 or 4 years ago that they had one show on television and then stopped. It was quite weird. The only reason I'm excited about this is it's going to be nice if British wrestlers get a chance to showcase their talent again.
Yeah. And, for their sake, possibly get picked up by one of the American companies, which almost certainly will pay a colossal amount more.
Hopefully, because NXT UK got scrapped not too long ago, but it also kind of got rolled into NXT Europe, which I don't know what the fuck's going on with their developmental, but I kind of don't follow WWE because even though Vince has gone from the helm, they're still scumbags.
Yeah.
But the very last story I want to finish on is someone is doing the weirdest cash grab I've ever seen on Steam.
Go ahead.
They're selling the Bible on Steam.
That is both weird and entirely understandable. There are some Bible fanboys who will do anything for the Bible.
Okay, but you can literally read it for free online without any moral repercussions because they want you to read the good book.
Yep, totally.
But instead, they want you to pay This company wants you to pay £8 to read it via Steam, and they're marketing it as a visual novel, which is just false.
Man, a visual novel of the Bible.
But I just want to remind you, it's not. It's just the Bible. But they're like, oh, because you're reading it's a visual novel. It's like, no, you don't know the terminology, you fuckwits. That being said, we're watching My Little Pony Make Your Mark again today. We're going to do episode 5 and 6, starting with episode 5. Oh, Rick, I suppose I should throw it over to you.
Yeah, My Little Pony Make Your Mark, part 2, episode 5. 3, 2, 1, and go.
Oh, we're only halfway in, and I remember getting really catty at the end of the last episode.
I'm a couple of seconds behind, but hopefully it shouldn't hurt too bad.
How are you a couple of seconds behind?
I pressed go and it didn't go.
Ah. That's a big pair of scissors.
It is.
Oh, so they've upgraded the garden from last time. He's got a Woody hat.
He does. He's got a Woody sash as well. I suppose it is just a sheriff hat and sheriff sash.
Yeah. Those scissors can't be easy to fucking operate with hooves.
That's probably why they're so massive, so you can get your entire leg in there.
Izzy needs a slap.
Thank you, Lawzip, though. Oh, Curdle the Turtle.
Even though it's clearly a tortoise.
Well. Blastoise gets a free pass on changing species halfway through as well, so.
Yeah. It's a Pokemon.
Yep.
Oh, the poor quitters.
Look how round the rabbits are.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't give a fuck.
He's perfect. Well, for half a second he was perfectly poised to take a sip.
I do think this theme tune is growing on me a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I do like the visuals more than the music, but still.
I think the music is better than the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic one, but that's because it did make me cringe a little bit inside every time.
Yeah, especially since the last line doesn't rhyme with anything.
I can't remember the last line.
Do you know you're all my very best friends?
I guess. I used to cringe because it was the most girliest part of the show.
Yeah.
And I was a 20-plus-year-old dude.
Although it did show Applejack kicking the shit out of a tree, so that was always fun.
Yeah.
They're actively trampling it as well. Little shits.
Doesn't it take a bit of the actual magic out of gardening that you can just poof things into existence?
It does, yeah. Last week we talked a load about allotments.
We did. Oh, right, they wanted to combine fruits, didn't they?
Yeah, and some of them were good sounding options, and some of them were awful sounding.
Izzy just turned into Snoop Dogg for a split second.
Monetize how round it is.
Like, I don't know what she expected picking up a wild animal. She's lucky she didn't get bit. I told you about the meerkats at my zoo working placement, right?
I think you did, didn't you? That someone lost a finger to one.
Yeah, not while I was there, but yeah, literally, it was the most fun part of my experience doing the just general fucking animal shit.
Yeah,
and when I did the meerkats, they were like, okay, so rake the sand, make the sand look good. Don't put your fingers near the meerkats. They are not pets. Someone has lost a finger. And I'm like, who the fuck? Okay, whatever. Just, yeah, okay. Gotta work with the lowest common denominator.
Yeah, because they are very cute.
Yeah, they are, but what fucking twat tries to touch a wild animal?
Someone who picked up animal care to have a free access to an infinite petting zoo. Like, there are people that take courses based on what fringe benefit they think they can get out of it.
Yeah, except animal care you get taught pretty much on day one. You'll probably die with... You'll probably work with sick or dying animals.
Yeah, it's a reason that so many people quit being a vet, because they join because... Well, they take the course because they love animals, and then spend their entire working life putting them down.
What are you, a cat? Like, honestly, change a little bit of the terminology and we're basically watching Transformers.
We are actually, Well, I mean, that's the whole point. Transformers was the boy toy and My Little Pony was the girl toy.
Can't say that no more.
Okay, it was the masculine and feminine.
Can't say that either. Toys. Don't even... Oh, I worked in a toy shop. And it was like, even off the shop floor, it's like we can't call them boy toys and girls toys. These are action toys, and these are princess toys.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, you're technically correct, but we're also not on the shop floor, so who gives a fuck what we say? Also,
it's also worse.
How so?
I think princess is more of a derogatory term than girl.
No, but the toys were like Barbies and princess dolls. That's why they were called princess toys. They weren't called princess toys because they were meant for girls.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, the action figures and brushies.
Oh, right, yeah, because that's better than princess toys.
Well, if they've got brushy hair, then yeah.
But they don't all have... It was just a generic term to say girls and boys toys because we couldn't say girls and boys toys, despite the fact no one's fucking listening.
Yep.
All because there was one person who was overly zealous and people decided to pay attention to them.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with saying this is a boy toy, this is a girl toy, as long as you don't go to a girl, can't play with that, that's for boys. Do you know what I mean? Ugh. I get it to a certain extent. You don't want to automatically enforce, oh, this is meant for boys and this is meant for girls. I get that. I do. But it's also like, for fuck's sake, as long as you're not telling a kid, no, don't play with that thing, does it matter?
Yeah, I do resonate a lot with that one comic strip of Lego going to all of the effort of redesigning an entire set. to include they redesigned an entire set just to be girls' Lego, and the person who they're trying to market to, i.e. a girl who had grown up and had now become a woman and was now, like, part of the testing crew, said, yeah, all you needed to do was take the only toy that you had, the space station, and just do this. And she took the male hair off and put on a ponytail.
Yeah, that didn't...
Just to be included.
That don't make a lot of sense.
Ah, yes, that the title of the episode is now taking place. Cutie marks are getting scrambled.
Yes. That was a very cute puppy.
It is.
Reminds me of my puppy.
I do like Pomeranians. Little fluff balls.
Chihuahuas are quite fluffy.
Yeah.
So having your cutie mark switched actually changes your personality?
In this it does, it seems.
Congratulations, you killed a birdie.
Although, to be fair, I think most berries are designed to be eaten by birds and then shat out later.
I mean, yeah, that's how berries reproduce, more or less.
Yeah.
That's the two...
And also,
Gone.
like chilies are the big one. They've got capsaicin in it so that most animals are like, nah, I don't like this, it's spicy. But birds don't have the receptors, so birds will eat them no problem and shit them out everywhere.
And then also they didn't account for humans being fuckwits.
Yeah. And going, oh, I like the pain, I'm going to add it to my normal cuisine.
Like, one of my favourite things is the amount of forests and woodlands that have been created just because squirrels forget where they bury their nuts.
Yes. I love the old adage of squirrels are wise and will remember where they buried their nuts, no problem. And no, they smell for them. And that's how they find them.
Sometimes they hide them too good.
Yep. Or the squirrel that hid it no longer exists.
Sorry?
The squirrel that hid the nut no longer exists by the time it comes to digging up.
Yeah, well, there's so many squirrels, man.
Yeah. In the wood next to us, they keep culling them every year. Because there's so many of them.
Just release a couple of dogs.
No, the dogs are too slow. Oh, look at that little foxy creature.
I haven't seen the foxy creature yet. Oh, that thing.
Yeah, those things. Man, whenever I see the crabs in this, all I can think of is Bosch as Palisman. I think I've said it before, but still.
Whenever I see these types of crab, I just remember the Crab Ray video.
Oh, yeah.
Someone did that in an anime style, and it looks so fucking ridiculous. I loved it.
They use it on Linus Tech Tips every time they're testing a speaker.
Fair enough.
So it's just synonymous with how good is this speaker to me. Which, unfortunately, is just a case of how good is your own speaker and how good was their microphone at the time.
Yeah.
But you can tell the difference between like one laptop and another and whatever.
Once again, reminding us that she's just a little bit of a Nazi.
Yep. A narcissist.
Oh, she has no intention of doing that.
No. Plus, I think you just spontaneously get it and then have the power. It just comes out of the ether for you. I think what's being implied is that it's being withheld.
But what I'm saying is, even if she does get her cutie mark, I believe the Alicon, Opaline, or whatever the fuck, is intending to not allow anyone to have magic except her, even her apprentice.
Yeah, fair enough.
She really don't like the mouse creatures, does she?
No. There's so many of them. I can understand being a little bit disconcerted.
The recipes are pretty much just rules.
Yeah.
What?
Fuck off.
Yeah, okay. There's people like that exist in real life, where they'll go to a place and there'll be someone they've never spoken to before, and they'll be like the usual, and it's like, I don't fucking know you, bro.
Yeah, it's the worst. People that feel so entitled as a customer.
Yeah, this is a fucking generic as fuck sitcom plot, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's Freaky Friday, but like toned down so you don't actually switch brains.
Yeah.
She only thought of the convenient lie when it became convenient to lie.
Well, by all rights, there's nothing wrong with the flavour. It was just the consistency she didn't like, right?
Yeah. I don't know why she was blaring at it.
Who the fuck wants a chunky smoothie? The hint's in the name.
Yeah, I think part of the reason for that would be that you want to make it known that it's not just juice, but like you saw it being made, so you know it's not just juice.
Also, when it's in a cup, you can't see the contents anyway.
Yeah. You're vaguely aware that it's vaguely orange because most fruits are orange, or average out to orange-ish.
Most fruits I consume end up being pink when they're fucking blended.
Yeah, fair enough. It's a red something or other, and when you give it some ice, then yeah, it just ends up pinkish.
Ah, lesson learned. That's interesting. They said hoof shake, but the subtitle said handshake.
Yeah, it did.
That's not interesting at all. It's just what happened on the screen and was weird.
Yeah. So they had their secret hoof shake, and I don't know why it just automatically fixed it, but oh well.
Yeah, because it seemed to be that,
it's because of the Dragon Chaos magic mixed with the
familiar.
Yeah, the AI familiar rat.
There's a fucking string of words.
Yeah.
Sounds like a defeated pony.
I do like exasperated Izzy.
Now, what they're not adequately showing in this episode is how much shit they've left all over the place.
Yeah. There's the callback. There you go.
Now, was that its goal, or did it get thwarted? That's the question.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
Fuck off.
Just a sprig of mint.
I remember I had an ice cream once where they put a little bit of a sprig of mint on the top of it, and I thought it'd be funny if I just chewed the mint, trying to be funny to the people I was eating with. And then about 3 seconds later, I spat it out and went, "That wasn't worth the joke."
Probably ended up as a better joke than what you were intending, though.
She's gonna poof him out of spite. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, Misty would just be accepted in town. Like, I don't know why she just doesn't live there more often.
Because she's been conditioned otherwise.
Yeah. Although it was kind of interesting when she perked up when Opaline goes, "Oh yeah, I'm not at full power right now." And Misty's like, "Ooh, really?"
Ah, that's novel.
Yeah. Now buy the toy set of these animals doing this thing.
You're totally right.
It's totally built like a toy set right now.
Because no one else will buy it.
Well, you can blend flax seeds.
Do not feed your tortoise lettuce. Or your rabbits. Don't feed anything apart from slugs or snails lettuce. They are nutritionally valueless and they will give them the shits.
Yeah. Right. It's like for cats, you don't. There's two reasons not to feed cats milk. One is that they're all lactose intolerant, and the other one is all it is fat.
Yeah, cats. So that's why they got cat milk.
Yeah, so the cat will get the shits, and it'll get fat. So yeah, bad idea all around.
Also, like, do you know why cats? You're meant to give cats wet food in the morning.
Is it so that they've got some moisture in them because they won't choose to drink otherwise?
Yeah, cats are weird bastards, and 9 times out of 10, they just don't drink enough.
Yeah, dehydrated, and it gives them enough moisture to go for a shit.
It's also why you don't give dogs cat food, because cat food has purposefully more water in it.
Yeah. Although that said, I don't think it'll harm the dog.
No, but it'll give it the shits.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because guess what? When a dog's thirsty, it goes to the fucking water bowl and has a drink.
Yeah.
When a cat's thirsty, they're fucking stupid, and 9 times out of 10, they're like, well, no, I'm sleeping.
Yeah, they'll go for a sleep because it's less work than going for a drink. Or if you're anything like Chris and Alana's cat, he'll go outside and have a drink out of a puddle because that's tastier than the water bowl that's there all the time.
Yeah, as long as you got...
kind of a dog thing to do.
It's not, though. Dogs will drink from their water source.
Well, they'll drink from the tastiest water source, which is normally a toilet.
Why is your dog going into the toilet?
I don't have a dog, but I know about dogs doing that.
Yeah, that's a cartoon thing. They don't do that unless you are not providing them with water adequately.
Well,
Not well, that's a fact.
like, dogs are flavour junkies, and it doesn't always have to be a good flavour from what we classify as good.
I can promise you, Rick, if you're giving your dog a proper amount of water, they're not going to drink water out of the toilet bowl. Rick, what do you think of the episode?
It was mid. It was a very different definition of mid. It's a plot that we've seen before, and they didn't even go the full hog of actually switching brains and bodies. They just switched powers. I think they did pretty much the same thing in Friendship is Magic, but they did it with everyone in town, and it was like a whole episode. But yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I couldn't give less of a fuck about this episode.
True move straight on?
Well, no, we've got to do an MVP for it.
It has to be Zip, because she actually did something. Like, she did her sleuthing, figured out what was wrong, and helped with resolving it. Like, that's the only MVP I can possibly give. How about you?
I'm going to give it to Opaline, because fuck, her plan actually worked today.
Okay, yeah, I feel you. Apart from actually getting the lantern.
I genuinely think the way that they framed it made it seem as if that little rat thing's mission was just to discover the source and not to retrieve it.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, we'll move on to episode 6, and hopefully we're going to be a bit less of a downer about this one. The traditional unicorn sleepover. It sounds like a fun one, Rick.
Yeah, it could be a good one. So, My Little Pony Make Your Mark, episode 6, the traditional unicorn sleepover. 3, 2, 1, and go. This time it did start when I told it to start.
Very good, very good. One of my favourite jokes is the difference between boys' sleepovers and girls' sleepovers, and it's like, boys will go to sleep at about 1 o'clock after beating the shit out of each other over something stupid, whereas girls will stay up until 5 o'clock in the morning trying to summon some ancient demon.
Yeah. I mean, that's what makeup's for until you're about 24, isn't it?
What, summoning ancient demons?
Yeah, painting on the floor into pentagrams.
Oh, spoiler alert, it don't fucking work.
No. If it did, there'd be a lot more demons around.
That being said, one of my favourite jokes, again, of all time, is someone once said, if they ever banned Richcraft, I would immediately get into Richcraft, because that means it works.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, did I tell you this last week, but time travel is banned in China.
I don't remember you saying that.
Yeah, it's, any show I think it's mostly for TV and film, because you can have it in literature, no problem. But anything that features time travel now has to be imagination. And it's because if you could go into the past, you could change the history of China, and China doesn't want that.
That's a weird rule.
Yeah.
That doesn't fucking makes any sense.
No.
Oh, the dragon don't like Misty.
I don't know why the dragon doesn't like her.
Can sense the evil.
Because she's not even evil, she's just Stockholm Syndrome.
But she's been hanging out with Opaline.
Yeah. And she's got a painted on cutie marker that's done in Sharpie.
Well, she ain't done a good job, because she's only done one flank, if that's true.
And I think they've only got it on one flank in this... Yeah, they've only got it on one flank in this show.
Oh, never mind then. Well, get fucked, every other unicorn living here.
I don't think there are any. It's predominantly Earth ponies, and then there's just Zip and Pip. And then the Pipsqueaks.
I could have sworn there's been some other unicorns in the city, at least visiting.
Yeah, I think one of the Pipsqueaks is a unicorn, but other than that, it's I think there's no other adults.
That donut is just straight from The Simpsons.
It is. Lard lad. Apparently there was a massive donut cake that you could buy from like Universal Studios or whatever, and it made like the top 10 donuts in all of America, despite the fact that its only claim to fame was its huge size.
Weird. We're being very quiet, and I don't think it's because we're paying attention. I think it's because we're bored and we've got nothing to say.
Well, there's also nothing to say with the plot advancing at the moment. So, like, everyone seems to be accepting Misty at range without having met her, or at least consciously.
Well, Sparky knows the word bedtime.
Yep. Most dogs do as well.
Look, my dog does. It's adorable. It has to be past a certain. It has to be dark outside. But if you say bed when it's dark outside, she'll go to bed. But she does that because usually when that happens, she gets a treat.
Yeah. And then once it's gone, she asks for another one.
No, because the cage is locked.
Ah, fair enough.
She only has the cage locked overnight because the big dog is weird and likes to attack her randomly, and we haven't found a reason, so at this point we just separate them at night time.
Fair enough, fair enough.
To be fair, knock on wood, she hasn't done it for about 6 months, but...
Fair. Man, that said, I also didn't know the surname of a lot of my friends until, I was, 9.
Dude, the only reason I know people's surnames nowadays is because of fucking Facebook.
Yeah. And even then, it's only the real interesting ones that you actually have on Facebook.
Not even, man. My Facebook's full of just people. I don't really pay attention. Sorry, anyone who's watching this because they saw it on my Facebook page. Wow. I am the Duke!
The big bad Duke!
Oh, you fucked it.
I like how Dog the Bounty Hunter's wife watched that episode and went, "Is that me?" when he saw the kid going around with boobs so big that the kid couldn't see over.
Let's play Monopoly. Oh, my dad. Yeah, okay, so we're about one step away from summoning Cthulhu.
Yep. Yeah, it's the Ouija board, which originally was not for summoning demons.
No, it's just for fucking pranking your friends.
Yeah, I think the Ouija board was originally meant for, talking to your inner self. It's kind of sad.
This is painful to watch, Rick.
It is. She's so cute. And it's so tragic that she's been kidnapped her entire life.
Damn.
Is chocolate poisonous to horses?
I wouldn't know. I don't think it's something people tend to give them.
Yeah, I know it's poisonous to dogs.
It's poisonous to humans if you eat enough.
Yeah, fair enough. I do know that horses eat rotten apples off the floor and get pissed.
Yeah, but that's about any vegetarian, herbivore.
Yeah. Oh, there was that one time that there was an outbreak of ants, and all the seagulls would eat the ants, and they would ferment in their stomachs and make them pissed.
That doesn't sound true.
So there was a bunch of boisterous seagulls for an entire year in Bristol. or for an entire summer even.
Those aren't amethysts.
No, they're everything but amethyst.
What?
Blowing into a crystal. That's not how crystals work.
It's not how flutes work either.
No.
We're not on nonsense non-stop review today.
We're just listening to Izzy sing and Misty trying to join in. What's the betting that's perfect? Oh, okay, it's not perfect.
Izzy's too innocent for her own good. That seems just like Izzy's making shit up.
Either that or she got one stuck on a horn at one point, as does seem to be her fashion.
Yeah.
Put your phone outside the window to get some reception.
We've all done it.
Yeah. I know there was only reception in one room in my mate's house, and it was the toilet. So whenever he was in there for more than 5 minutes, you knew what he was doing.
Well, you think you knew what he was doing. He was having a wank. Well, that's fucking rich.
Yeah, just chastising your evil protege for doing evil laugh too good. And then pee off the ceiling.
It's going to be difficult without a penis.
Well, if you've got a lot of pressure pent up, then just point backwards and go.
What a lovely visual. We've got sleeping bags, but we don't actually get in them because that's hard to animate. Not wrong, am I?
Yeah, getting in them is hard to animate, but when you cut back to them, some of them will be in one. Oh no, they're not. Okay.
Do that at every sleepover.
Scary stories.
Wow, okay.
Oh yeah, they've got the clap lights. Or even the clop lights.
I genuinely thought they were going to actually do a little Celestia then.
Yeah, I also wasn't expecting it to be a 3D model when they rotated round.
Is it a 3D model?
I think it is. It just looks like 2D right now, but when they rotated round, it was like an obvious 3D space.
Did that happen in Friendship is Magic? Because I don't remember, because I tapped out way before the end of the series.
No. So
Would have happened after.
This seems to be the actual lore of what happened before the movie, but after the finale, where Twilight's grown up to a full-size alicorn.
Mm-hmm.
Like the actual last episode is like looking back on the past.
Oh, 1 second. I want to see what her version is. Okay, so this is definitely false.
Yeah. But yeah, there's going to be a fragment of truth in that Opaline's power was sealed away because of her being a bitch.
Yeah. Quite a fucking bit, is he?
Especially in court.
Okay, well, we're not in court, so let's drop that. Oh, Zip's suspicion is rising.
Yep. Sus level's critical. Detective Zip.
Don't be an arse. Oh. Thanks, Izzy.
Yep. Needed the translation there. Yep.
So here's a fun one, Rick. Usually when I click my finger, my index finger, I just bang it against my cheek to make it click. But I forgot about my tooth. And that really fucking hurt for a split second there.
Yeah, let's... oh, yeah.
I took all my willpower not to fucking scream, and I was just like... which might come up on mic, I don't know.
Yeah, recovering from some surgery.
Richie never finished.
No.
This is such a Pinkie Pie way of expositioning.
Yep. and the big breath at the end included, yeah.
Well, here's what you got to do. You got to cut someone's hoof off.
Yep. Or at least take their horseshoes.
I don't think they have horseshoes.
Nah, not in this one.
Knitting scarves for armadillos.
Danglebird.
Yeah, they took some inspiration from Glimmer, didn't they?
Yeah. I do love Glimmer's Danglebed, and she's the only one that can get to it because she can teleport.
Yeah, and it fucked her over for like 3 episodes when she lost her powers.
Yeah. Oh.
Expecting electric guitars. Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Yep.
Alternatively, Itsy Bitsy Spider.
Yeah, it is the Itsy Bitsy Spider, isn't it? Yeah.
It's Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star and Bar Bar Black Sheep that have the exact same tune, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Usually,
almost, yeah. Like the second line is slightly different, but yeah, it's the same
beat,
general, same cadence.
Yeah. Was it Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, Bar Bar Black Sheep? Have you any? Oh yeah, it does. It does go a bit different, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's Have You Any Wool, and then because there's more syllables in Have You Any Wool.
Just a few.
Little Star. I think it's the same in German, though.
German's basically just English, but more to the point.
Yeah. Hast du wohl, or something. Someone's going to be listening in right now.
Well, if anyone, it'd be Zip.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be Zip, isn't it? Yeah. Yep, there we go.
Oh, fuck me, she's under the covers. Oh, fuck you. I was finally getting invested in the story, you motherfuck.
Yeah, we're now set up for the final 2 episodes.
I guess we are. Man, that was a trip, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm disappointed that there was no attempted murder or demon summoning.
Yep. And Hitch, Mr. not appearing in this episode.
I think that's because boys aren't allowed at girl sleepovers.
Yeah, and there's a very good reason for that. Because teenagers are fucking animals.
Well, there's always the meme of the one dude who pretends to be gay to go to the girl sleepover and then immediately regrets it when they bring out a magic wand.
Yeah. Yeah, they need a blood sacrifice from everybody.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, but, it's one of those, man. Like, I don't know what age the cutoff is. Maybe like 10?
Well, I think when you're really young, you probably don't have a lot of intergender friends. Like, when I was growing up, it was basically the girls did the girl thing and the boys did the boy thing.
Yeah, but that might be one of the problems with our society, Rick.
Oh, it's definitely one of the problems with the society. Like, you tend to get friends when you're very small by looking for what you have in common with people. And, sometimes it's as simple as, oh, I'm sat next to this person in school. Therefore, we're in proximity all the time. Therefore, we might as well be friends.
It's like, hey...
Because your personality's not formed yet.
It's like, hey, motherfucker, that man lent me a sharpener. We are now bonded for life.
Yeah. Like, actually.
But, it's one of those of, it's all like saying boys and girls activities. It's like, point to me anyone who does not enjoy Laser Quest.
Oh, yeah, totally. And doesn't enjoy, running around the playground when they're little.
It's just like, here's the boys' games, here's the girls' games, and it's like, fucking grow up. The adults, not the kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, Anyway, what did you think?
It was a better episode than the last one.
Not a high bar.
I think the one before, and just generally, I think it was better than the ones last week in general. And like we say, it's setting up for the season finale. We got to see, in my opinion, the two best characters of the series more than anyone else in this one, which from in my opinion is Misty and Izzy. But that's enough from me. What do you think?
It was fine. It's probably the best episode to date because they've finally moved off of the let's introduce everyone's gimmicks.
Yeah, and they even did like the 2 points of view of the establishing lore between the end of the previous generation and the beginning of this one.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as I said, I actually got annoyed when the episode ended because it's like, fuck's sake, it was just starting.
Yeah. Story just starting, episode ends.
Pretty much. So, yeah, let's get into our wind down. Rick, favourite moment?
My favourite moment actually was the fact that they did the lore dump of the end of the Friendship is Magic era. Even if neither one could possibly be perfectly accurate, the fact that you have 2 points of view and you kind of got to read between the lines to find out what actually is probably the truth is kind of cool. But yeah, how about you? What was your favourite moment?
I don't know, man. Just Izzy being silly.
Yeah.
Izzy going like, oh, we need to go through everything, so instead of watching this movie, we're going to watch 3 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, my favourite 3 minutes that I'm going to recite to you while it's happening.
That's just dumb shit like that, man. It's hard not to enjoy.
I think everyone's got one of those friends, haven't they? You got to try and speedrun something so they'll just skip to the things that they have predetermined are good in the series.
Maybe. I don't think I've personally had the pleasure.
But yeah,
we can't only talk about the good, we must also talk about the bad. Rick, weakest link.
My weakest link was the first episode that we saw today. The fact that it just wasn't great. Like I said, straight away, mid. And it wasn't a high bar to have a better episode than it for the second episode. How about you? What was your weakest link?
Very much in the same vein of like, they're using a trope that's as old as time, and they didn't really put a unique spin on it. And as you said, by the end of the episode, it was clearly designed to sell a toy.
Yeah.
Which, like, me and you, we're fucking veterans from the 90s. A lot of our cartoons were designed to just shift toys.
Yeah. It was to sell a toy and not even a unique one, because, like, you can have an animal playground in any franchise. It doesn't have to be a My Little Pony based one.
I'm pretty sure Polly Pocket has a dozen.
Yeah. Or The Littlest Pet Shop, which is all about being the littlest pet shop.
Jesus Christ, I forgot about them. But yeah, let's end on a high note. Rick, MVP.
I'm going to give it to Misty, because she was a credible apprentice in this one, and you can see the cracks forming in her relationship with Opaline. In the first episode, it was going, oh, you're not at full power, and in this episode, it's, oh, I actually enjoy spending time with the people who I'm trying to murder.
She's not trying to murder.
Okay, yeah, she's just trying to take their source of magic and make it so that there can never be magical again.
As well as everything that makes them individuals, if we're to believe what cutie marks do.
Oh, yeah, we saw that in Friendship is Magic with the equalizer. But yeah, how about you? Who was your MVP?
I agree, it's Misty this time.
Yeah. I was tempted to give it to Izzy because of how cute and adorable she is, but I think Misty just edged it out this week.
I was also tempted to give it to Zip for being the only person on the ball.
In both episodes.
However, at the same time, Zip is quickly becoming one of those sort of almost conspiracy theorist type of ponies. So,
except she tends to be right.
Yeah, I get you, but like there's nothing wrong with questioning everything, but she sometimes, there's no logical reason to question the thing apart from that's just what she does.
Yeah, being pathologically sus of everything.
Which, it's fair enough. It's just, it's very odd that we haven't found her be wrong once yet.
Yeah. I would like to see her be wrong at some point, just so it teaches kids that you don't have to be suspicious of everything, but it's good to maintain a healthy amount of suspicion by definition of it being a healthy amount of suspicion.
Yeah, the earth isn't flat and vaccines don't cause autism.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you made it this far, you're our favourite people. If you enjoyed what you saw and you're watching on YouTube, we have the comment section down below. If you are instead listening via one of our many audio platforms, you can instead send us an email. Where they said send email to, Rick?
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com. Once again, that is nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
Yes. And it's going to be a goodbye from me.
And it's a goodbye from him. Ta-ra!